All right, guys, we're super excited for this one. We got both George and Wesley from the Bryan Brothers here on the show. George, we caught up with you a couple of, I would say about 2-3 months ago.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have you both here on the show because we got some exciting news. You two went ahead and bought a golf course. It's wild.
Yeah. Kind of something we've been dreaming, not golf course. We've been dreaming about doing like a golf academy, par 3 driving range, something in that realm for, I don't know, a few years, 4 or 5 years now. It was like a dream thing, but then all of a sudden this like perfect dream scenario that Wesley can talk more about, that like just kind of fell in our lap, and here we are with this amazing kind of bucket list dream kind of in front of our eyes.
So there was a bit of it that was premeditated, but there was also a bit that was just kind of jumping on an opportunity. Is that that kind of how this worked out?
I would say that none of it's really premeditated. The opportunity came up, and we just kind of jumped on it. Now, I want to be the first to say that we did not do it on our own. All the stuff that we want to do, we were not able to do it on our own. So we have a partner that has been massive in carrying out the vision that we have.
Gotcha. And then is the partner, like as far as the vision, it's still the synergy there? Because I know sometimes you can get a partner and then it kind of goes a different way with your own vision. You kind of have to make a lot of concessions. Are you guys still able to do what you're envisioning and what you want working with this outside partner?
Yeah, I would. Yeah. Pretty much everything that we have come across, we see eye to eye on. And there hasn't been any, there's some of the things that obviously that we're surrendering to, like when it came down to going through the process of naming the golf course, we kind of went through the whole process of it, as he does with all of his businesses. And so and when it comes to like bidding out projects and all the stuff that we've got going on, it's not just the guy that I bring to the table or one of George's buddies that is coming to the table. So we're going through the whole process the right way. Our guy obviously is very successful in the business world, and leaning a lot on him operationally. So it's not necessarily conceding. It's more of just going through the process the right way.
Gotcha. And now this particular course, it's got a little bit of family history too, from what I'm gathering, watching some of your videos. Your father, right, had worked here years back. What was the story there?
Yeah. How crazy is that? The course was, I think, Dad's first ever like PGA head pro position. When he came into the business in the Carolinas, head pro here, had the shop, the whole 9 yards. I wouldn't say I grew up there, but for probably 2-3 years, Dad would, bring me along to the golf course. I would go there with him. And here we are 30 years later, 25 years later, kind of redoing it. And Dad he'll play a massive role as well, I'm assuming, unless he doesn't want to. Of course, he can always say no, but like coming full circle to do this project together as a family, it's somewhere that he got his start, and kind of by default, me and Wesley, he got our start in the game as well.
I can imagine how that phone call went. Hey, Dad, guess what we bought?
I'll tell you how it went. Our dad actually called us and said, "This is going to potentially be an opportunity that we could take advantage of." And going through the logistics of it, we would have been able to buy the golf course. We just really wouldn't have been able to do anything with it. So in the meantime, he'd been having conversations over another golf course in the area because he does a little bit of real estate and stuff on the side. And this one, it just, like I said, it fell into our lap. I hadn't even been on property until we went out to look at it, since I was probably 10 years old. Don't remember anything about the place other than, if we're being frank, it was just a a crap hole of Columbia. And so like one of the worst public courses. Now, it used to be pretty good, but just over the last 10 years or so, just kind of like a laughing stock of a public golf course, and kind of breaks our heart to see places go downhill that don't have any funding, that don't have any real like goals of being a good golf course, and for us to kind of come in and do the extreme home makeover, or the, I don't know, the Chip and Joanne Gaines type feel flipping project, but not flipping it to sell it, but just to basically take something that's not too pretty on the eyes and turn it into something great.
Well, yeah, when I saw some of the initial images of it, I was wondering, like, had it been shut down? Was it operational like this? Or like, I've seen courses like that where just like, there's no maintenance for a couple of years, they just need to be brought back to life, but it's looked tough.
it was bad. And again, that's, it kind of stinks because, certain things lead to, or certain situations lead to this, lead to that. And then all of a sudden, a couple of years later, you just, you don't have the funding, the proper love's not putting into it. It's kind of it gets put on the back burner, and then you have a course that goes and turns into what it is now. But yeah, it was operational. And again, it kind of stinks because there was, I think, one guy doing legitimately everything, like shop, maintenance, books, and like that's just not sustainable on any front. And so, and on top of that, not having the budget that he needs. Just a bunch of unfortunate circumstances, I guess you would say. But yeah, it was operational in that capacity that you guys saw in the video. Probably when we filmed that, a month after it closed, maybe, Wesley. I don't even remember.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't much after.
Wow.
And guys, where is it located? I think you might have mentioned it. You said Columbia.
Yeah, Columbia, South Carolina, right, pretty close to the airport. So if anyone's looking to come when it opens, it's right there.
Well, I was going to ask you that. So when it does open, when you finally get it to the vision you want and you're open the doors, is it going to be open to anybody? How's that going to work out?
Private, Wesley. I mean, it's gonna be a private golf course, but like our vision, and Wesley will agree with this. Like now again, locally, we want to have an impact on the golf scene, but also, I guess, globally, or kind of in what we do, creating content, what you guys do, is we want to have it be a safe space and a place that creators are welcome to have access to a really awesome golf course and feel like they're welcome, and, to create that content, because as it's tough to find courses that will allow you to come out there, but then are not too busy. And there's just a lot of factors going on. So we want to be kind of like a content creation hub for people who want to put out cool stuff on the internet and make them feel welcome. But it's also gonna be private. And Wesley probably will, can say a little better, but am I leaving anything out there, Wesley?
We're gonna operate as a private club. Like, we have a vision of being the best golf course with the best playing conditions, with a golf staff / everything that goes around it being like that elite private club feel. Like, yes, does it section off the people in the area and people that are able to join or whatever? Absolutely, it does. And we've gotten some pushback on the internet from, hey, exactly what golf doesn't need: another private club where we don't have an opportunity to play. But we're gonna have some events. We're gonna have some outside play through. Like, it's got to be like, we're gonna do some unaccompanied guest play, but it's gonna be on a limited basis. Like, we're not going to shut it off to our subscribers. We're absolutely going to welcome guys like y'all into the fold, to where anytime y'all want to have any type of golf content that y'all are going to be pushing out, we want it to feel as much of y'all's place as it is our place. Now, geographically, we're located very close to it, and we're going to utilize it the most. But anybody that wants to come in and that's actually trying to make a living doing this golf content stuff and doing it, it's absolutely going to be available to them. And then there's a lot of other visions that we have to go along with it, to support guys trying to make it professionally, junior golfers, and on the academy side, where people can learn the game and get better at the game. So there's a lot of different areas that we're looking to attack. And like I said, we've had pushback from people saying, hey, private golf clubs, that's not how to grow the game. You need it to be public. But as far as kind of what I want is it's like a personal playground, so to speak. And it be accessible for guys like me trying to make it, a golf course that doesn't have 4,000 tee times a day, or 4,000 players a day. We kind of need to operate it that way.
I think what you're saying there is so true. There's more than one way to grow the game, and I think you can argue that what you guys do on social media is one of those ways. And as we see it grow and the more and more eyeballs that even younger generations are getting on it through YouTube and stuff like that. So you guys, creating a space where creators can go and make the content, I think is really a cool thing to see, because we see it firsthand how hard it can be sometimes. You ask golf courses like, hey, this is what we're looking to do. And they're like, you want to do what? It's like, no.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really cool way to go about it. But another thing too, you talked a little bit about in your video, like going hand in hand with that vibe, even though it's going to be a private, you mentioned a little bit about like relaxing some of the usual things that go with a private club, like even dress code wise. Can you like speak a little bit about that?
Yeah. It's definitely going to be, that kind of new age, like Wesley said in the video, if you want to wear hoodies, that's fine. If you want to wear t-shirts, I don't mind playing t-shirts, but again, I'm more of a traditionalist. Khakis, untucked khaki, and like kind of that athleisure, short look. I'm fine with that. But Wesley, if you watch him on the golf course, he doesn't look like a bum. You don't look like a bum, Wesley. But you wear t-shirts and gym shorts. No, but like that's one of the things is like, yes, you're gonna have to look like you're decent. You have your shirts on, your pants on, but like I feel like Wesley can talk more, but like just a relaxed, like there's not going to be any like super strict dress codes like there are most
so just
of the
taking
courses.
Some of the stuffiness away is what you're saying.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
So when it comes to dress code stuff, like, and we've been talking a little bit about it being like the plain athletic wear, not wearing jerseys or whatever out there. But what we're trying to do is create a membership base of the guys that aren't going to come in and be like, I can't believe he's wearing that. Mm-hmm. We're gonna try and attract the people that are like, you know what? They're out here having a good time playing golf. Like, this is amazing. Whether music's playing or whether you see those guys that are, I don't participate, but I know there's a lot of guys that like to maybe overserve themselves a little bit on the golf course and having a good time. And there's guys that look at that as like, that's disgraceful. We're just going to try and let everybody have a good time. We're not going to go full Discovery property, like flip-flops and swim shorts and no shirt and no rules. There's going to be absolutely some guidelines to abide by, but what we're trying to do is have the members that don't have that traditional stuffy feel about a golf course.
Yeah, just taking some of the stuffiness out. So we talked a little bit about the current conditions. So, and where you want to bring it to be a little bit more of a top tier type of golf course. Mm-hmm. So what are we talking? Are we talking a full redesign? Do you have an architect in mind? Like, how are you going to approach that?
Oh boy, do we ever! Oh boy, do we ever have an architect in mind? One of you might be talking to him right here. No, so that's the kind of the cool thing is like we're talking about vision and getting a team together. Like Wesley has a vision for this golf course, and like he's a great player. I'm a great player. Like we know golf, and we've seen this.
George,
golf
you
course.
can tell him you're a good player. You can tell him.
Okay, can play great. But no, like, and so Wesley from the start has been like, hey, this is where I want trees. This is where I want trees taken out. This is where I want tee box. This is where I want bunkers. This is how I like greens. And so like he has this base that like, yes, I wouldn't say he's an architect by any means, but like he knows golf course. He knows what he likes. He knows what good golf is. He's played it on every course that you can imagine. And so Wesley's going to be doing the kind of vision. Now we are going to hire a team of like actual people that have, moved dirt and built golf courses before. But no, I think we've talked about, I don't know if we talked about in our videos, but this is something that who knows what this project, like what comes of this, but let's get something to be kind of like a springboard or something for Wesley moving forward. Is like, he might be a face and kind of golf course YouTube architect, like, because I'm telling you, like, it's going to be an amazing golf course, and and again, the course doesn't have a lot to do, but there are some things that this course is going to look way different than it did before, and Wesley is going to be a big reason, a big part of that. Now, me too, I do have some input, but yeah, this is going to be his kind of little, I don't know, what do you want to add to that, Wesley? Your brainchild? No.
We know for sure, Wesley, this is it sounds like it's a passion project for
yeah,
sure.
There we go. Yeah.
Beyond that, like, have you ever had much aspirations for course design? Is that something that you've had in the past, of like wanting to like kind of like flex that muscle a little bit?
Yeah, just to go into a little bit of that, there's like anytime that I'm on a golf course, there's things like I'm not one of those guys. Like, I'll hand it to someone like Zach Blair, who is a player, turned like it's not the traditional someone like Tiger Woods or Greg Norman or Jack Nicklaus or Gary Player or Tom Watson or Weiskopfer, these guys that were players that turned architects, where they kind of had a design team and they did the whole shebang, from basically taking a piece of property and having a vision. Zach Blair's one of those guys, very talented, of like designing golf course and golf holes. I don't feel like that I'm cut from that cloth. I don't think that I could. I definitely don't think I could pull that off. But when I go to a place and I've got kind of a vision of things that I would do to change to make it better, and that's kind of where I came in on this project, where when I was riding around looking at it, I started to have like a vision of things that I would like to see. And it started, those architectural, like thoughts started popping in my head of, oh, well, this would be cool if we did this to this hole, or had this runoff area that went down. Like I'm looking at from like a playability standpoint. And I really I've enjoyed over the last few months, just kind of getting the vision together and pinging it off of a guy that actually knows how to move dirt, and what would happen. Like, hey, if we were to take this mound over here and flush it this way, and if we were to take this hazard line and bring it in, like what would be the repercussions on the other side? Like where would water, like trying to look at it through those lenses, has been a lot of fun. And like, as far as green complexes are concerned, I would have actually not been a guy to try and start from scratch to like redo the greens, but I can take what's already there and know where to soften mounds, where to flatten areas, where to kind of like section off back tiers, where to have kind of like these funneling locations, or where balls will funnel off the green, filter onto the green. Like, I can look at what's already there and tell you changes that I would make. And that's kind of what this project's going to be. I'm not going to attach my name to it as redesigned by Wesley Bryan. I'm definitely not looking at that whatsoever. But I mean,
like
hopefully
the consultant type of role, working with that team. And like you said, like more asking like, hey, look, this would be great. Can I do this here? And then seeing ultimately what their input is, what you can and can't do. All right, guys, the hours have been put in, the work has been done, and as the moment approaches, you either fear it or you feel it. For Titleist, the moment is filled with pure anticipation. It's the culmination of relentless pursuit of speed in every form. So step up and settle in with confidence. The Titleist TSR is here, and the new TSR drivers take everything that made TSI the #1 driver on tour and pack even more performance into every single head. From the new face technologies, new CG improvements, and aerodynamic refinements, when everything moves the needle, you're playing at Titleist speed. So go to Titleist.com, learn more about the TSR metals, make sure you schedule your fitting today. Mike and I just recently got fit. I'm telling you, the gold is in there and dialing these in with a great fitting. So Titleist TSR, find your faster, find out more at Titleist.com.
And huge thanks to FootJoy. They've kept us warm and stylish throughout the year with their new Thermo series. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. We've been wearing it. Love the material. It's a collection of base layers, mid layers, outer layers, and even pants. Yes, they do Thermo series pants, and they're made with materials that help move with every golfer without any restriction. They're lightweight. They reduce bulk and temperature regulated to ensure maximum comfort no matter how many layers are required. I mean, it's going to get super cold coming up. And even some of these southern courses, Frank, they're getting cold down there. So you're in Florida on this 50-degree day and you're not used to it, Thermo Series, check it out. I'm telling you, you're going to love the fabrics that are selected for their thermal properties. But it keeps the golfer in mind. That's the great thing about it. Like I said, they're not bulky, so you can actually swing through the shot. You're still going to look good and you're going to be warm throughout the round. So check out the entire lineup. Go to footjoy.com. Check out Thermo Series. You won't be disappointed.
So the other thing is, recently you had in one of your videos, you talked a little bit about your own journey, right? And like keeping the dream alive with the PGA Tour. So I'd imagine that's still keeping you quite busy. So what does it look like now taking on this endeavor and trying to do that hand in hand? Because obviously we said there's a lot of work to be done here at the course. So what's the balancing act for you there?
Yeah, for me, what was big, like I mentioned earlier, just operationally having a guy that's able to execute. And our partner absolutely is that guy that's able to coordinate with contractors, be on property a lot, and carry out. Now, for me, it's as easy as walking the golf course with a guy and saying, "Hey, this is where I want a tee box. I want all these trees moved." Or all these trees taken out. This is where I want to bunker. Like, for me, it's only been like of actual take me away from practicing and playing. It's only been maybe a 1 to 2 day a week type deal over the last month. So they're days that I would have taken off anyway. And like you said, a little bit of a passion project where I'm really excited to go out there and start dreaming up and envisioning type of things. And then on the ride to and from the golf course, just taking phone calls from guys. Like right now we're kind of doing the superintendent search. And we're pretty deep into the process now, but just fielding phone calls during the drives to and from the golf course. I hadn't let it bleed into like my home life where I'm doing stuff. It's not like a side gig where at night I'm spending hours doing things. I might get the doodle pad out, like trying to design a short game area or redesign a range or design like where I'm drawing up things. That I probably spent a couple hours on a sketch pad, but for the most part, like I said, it hasn't been that much of a time commitment.
Gotcha. And tell us a little bit about what you guys have planned for the instructional part. Cause I know going back to almost the roots with your father who was doing lessons on the range. And I saw you guys talking about it a little bit in the recent video about maybe even putting more of a practice facility instruction in. What's the game plan there?
Yeah. The facility, the Bryan Bros Golf Academy is going to be, it's going to be amazing because we're going to have state of the art facilities, hitting bays, launch monitors, which I mean those are awesome. But the practice area that we're going to have that Wesley's kind of dreaming up is going to be insane. It's not going to be the biggest thing in the world. I mean, we have a great size range, but like just the intricacies and the details, obviously starting off with having tour caliber golf balls is going to be amazing because what the balls that I hit are not, they fly a little crooked sometimes. So it's going to be amazing, like actually having tour level range balls. But like the targets, just the areas that you can hit, what the range is going to do to help you get better just by it being a range because the way Wesley's designed it, it's going to be awesome. But yeah, Dad has had a golf academy for 30 years, since like 92, I think, 93. And that's all he's done is teach golf. So we're going to hopefully have him come out there full time, or at least bring his clientele out there, merge with us, and kind of have this Bryan Bros Golf Academy that has what he's doing, but take it to another place, take it to another level where, we have juniors like Wesley said, because again, the Columbia is where we got our start in golf, and we want to give back and help any way we can to help those juniors that are serious golfers, or even not serious golfers. They're just learning to play, to get them on a trajectory in the game. And have it play. And who knows? Maybe it's a place where people are coming to see me and Wesley, take playing lessons from me and Wesley on the golf course, or hey, I want a wedge lesson from one of the best wedge players in the world. Let me play 9 holes and see what he does. Having people come, from Carolinas, Georgia, Florida to see us. Who knows where it can go? But at the end of the day, it's going to be really cool. Like you said, getting Dad, myself, Wesley, having this academy that we can really build up to something special at a place that we kind of got our start in.
Right. It could create a real home base.
George, I feel slighted. I feel slighted a little bit that this is bad marketing when you say one of the best wedge players in the world. I felt like that was a shot at me, like something's changed.
Okay, you were one of the best players for like a stretch, and then I'm sorry.
No, I said just wedge play in general. No, but to build on that, we're going to be taking over what's already been in place, like George said, for 30 years, the George Bryan Golf Academy. What we're going to do is it's more or less just a rebranding to the Bryan Bros Golf Academy, and so we're going to take that whole operation, and as it currently sits right now, at our parents' house, they built a pretty nice golf facility out there with hitting bays and artificial greens and a wedge range and a little driving range down power lines. But we're going to be taking that and putting their physical location onto a golf course and a driving range that's associated with a club. So it's more or less rebranding of the George Bryan Golf Academy, attaching our names to it, and then we're going to be offering a little bit of the instruction side. But the brunt of the work is going to be coming from my dad, and hopefully if the guy that works for my dad and teaches with my dad, hopefully he'll come over as well. I mean, he seems pretty interested in the project, but I think just what they've done over the last 25, 30 years is, they've already had a solid standing golf academy that's operated and been one of the best in the state, and had good revenue numbers. And so taking it to an actual golf course and giving the people that come through and get lessons limited access to the golf course, as well as, I think, another one of those ways, like you said, how we can kind of bridge that private gap to people that are serious about getting better, that want to come in and get lessons from my dad, or go on the golf course and have playing lessons with George and I, or Chase, or any of the assistant pros that are out there. Having that service being offered can definitely elevate the experience of the people that are taking lessons, and hopefully we're going to grow the game targeting junior golfers. That's kind of been my dad's specialty over the last 20, 30 years. So getting young kids into the game, giving them a facility that they can really hone their skills and hopefully play the game for a long time.
Yeah, that's incredible. So do you guys have a targeted time for like an opening? Is like, we're talking about a year, 2 years? How long out to get to where we're at least initially operational?
Wesley, any idea? I don't.
It's ambitious. We from the time we bought it and closed on it to instantly going straight to work, trying to clear out land for tee boxes, and get a lot of the prep work ready to do the irrigation and pump house that has to be redone, and making sure that the seed and sprig is available to be ordered, and the chemicals and the equipment, having all that stuff, like everything has to go absolutely perfect. We can't have any major hiccups. But I mean, the growing season, it's out there. Everybody knows that the grass starts growing really good in June, July, August, September. So if we can get grass on that puppy by then expect a late fall opening. But I mean, realistically, I would say it'll hopefully be playable by the fall. But as far as where we want it to be and what's going to be something that we're really proud of is you're probably looking summer or fall of next year.
Gotcha.
Where are you guys with name? You close? You have it?
I'm kind of close.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know.
I mean,
We'll,
you don't try and bait us into this.
You
It's not going to happen on this show. But
know we want that clip.
we
Let's
tried.
go.
I've tried.
I know.
hey, you got to try. You got to. I mean, respect it.
Yeah.
I do. But at least you're close, so that's good.
Yeah.
Well, listen.
No,
I'm excited to see when it does open.
I think we're
'cause
100% there.
You're
Yeah.
100% there. They're just
Yeah.
not telling us.
Perfect.
We just don't get
Yeah.
that exclusive yet.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'm excited to see when it opens because you definitely have the before pictures nailed down. I mean, you
Yeah.
might get transformation, of the decade over there. But before we let you guys go, the other thing I wanted to ask you beyond the course, what does this mean for the channel? Are you guys going to is this going to be home base for more content on the channel? Can we expect to see some new stuff? Some of, you still going to work in some of the other stuff that you've been doing? How is this kind of shift the focus for the YouTube channel?
But yeah, no, it's really cool because in the YouTube space, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of course overhauls, redos that are documented on Instagram or, see before and after pictures or maybe like a hero 20-minute video. But like, there's no like start to finish of a golf course going from awful to great. And so just from that's just going to be a piece of the channel. I guess to answer your question better, it's just going to be a piece of what Bryan Bros is, like a rather big piece because it's an insane project, something that's awesome and it's been a lot of fun just on this short amount of time. So yeah, we're going to take everyone on this journey with us because we want people to be excited. And I think they are like as excited as we are to like go through every single process, the offal, the installing irrigation, cutting down trees, planting the seed, and take everyone on that journey from start to finish. Is something that's going to be cool to document for y'all to watch, but also for us to look back on. And when I go back and watch videos, a year from now and see like, golly, that's what we were doing. And it's going to be a cool little thing to have for us, just personally. But no, it'll change the game, I feel, because again, it's going to allow us to have more collaborations, kind of have our own schedule and be able to like, hey, we need to shut down these amount of tee times for 6 hours because we have, this massive collaboration with, Rick Shields or Peter Finch or whoever else, massive, you guys, LeBron James, whoever, like we can block this off. Whereas, most courses like, well, we can give you 2 tee times. Like, well,
Right.
we have, anyway, so it's going to be cool on that front where we can produce awesome content at like Wesley said, an elite level private golf course. But yeah, no, it's just going to sweeten everything that we're doing. It's going to give us a home base, but it's not going to change. We're still going to do matches. We're still going to, do our same things that we've been doing, chronicle Wesley's journeys on tour, my journeys. But this is just going to be, like I said, a piece added to the content puzzle that it's going to be really cool and exciting for us to put out there.
And Wesley, I got to throw this over to you just real quick. When you're doing the whole design, when you get lost in that work, just think about this: drivable par 5. Let's get a hole where you can step up to the tee box and say, "I need to get an albatross here," or if not, eagle at worst. I mean, where else could you say that? No.
Yeah, you can make the par whatever you want.
He wants that punch bowl green. We want
a go low style golf course in our life. That's our course name. We said
no,
by the way,
so
go low course.
So I will leak a little bit. There's one par 3 that's a short par 3 that we're completely redoing. The green, like that's going to be the only major renovation that happens. And you better believe that fireworks will happen on that hole.
Oh,
so
sweet.
there's a little bit of a plug there.
Yes.
Now we're talking.
Okay.
Well, guys, listen, we appreciate you taking the time, catching up with us. Like we're excited to see it. We're excited to see it when we saw the announcement, and really, excited to watch that progression. So I think it's really cool, as you were saying, George, bringing us along on the channel as we watch and get to see this unfold. And Wesley, we hope you meet that super aggressive release and opening date, but we'll be watching closely. But thanks again for stopping by, and we're excited to see the whole project as it unfolds.
Yeah, thanks for having us on, gents. It's always a pleasure and a lot of fun to talk. And hey, Wesley, shout out to you for making it happen and carving out a little time for us.
Appreciate that.
Oh, wait, why? What, you think I just don't have time for you? Just because I'm at a singles resort right now in the Bahamas means I don't have time for you guys?
Awesome.
No, not at all.
He got the nap in. He was good.
And listen, as soon as that place is open, we're going to fly down there and see it in person.
You got to pick our locker out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
and to add on what you guys were saying, like, not George mentioned that we were trying to kind of bridge the gap. One of the hottest spaces on YouTube right now is the construction space, just building things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's never been done with a golf course. So we also like the idea of being able to add that travel piece that's built in for guys like you and all these other content creators, where they're traveling into us and telling the story of going to play this golf course that had such a massive impact on YouTube and YouTube golf, and the excitement levels that are going to go from there on the travel projects from other creators' end. And I think that's the part that we're probably most excited about.
Well, that's awesome. Well, like I said, we will be there knocking on the door. As soon as that door is there, we will be there to knock on it. So we're excited for it. We're excited for you guys. Best of luck with everything, with the renovation. And of course, Wesley, best of luck on the tour, everything that you've got your goals set for this year, with the channel for you guys as well. We'll be looking forward to seeing it all. So thanks again for coming on the show, and we'll catch up with you guys again soon.
All right, see y'all.
That's it.
Thanks, guys.
See ya. Same to you guys.